I believe that a law has been passed in the United States. I think it's part of the Defense Authorization Act. I need to confirm this. That, pardon me, now makes it legal to propagandize American citizens. Is that, do we know about that? Yeah, it's true. And is it in the NDAA or is it in something else? Do we know? It's a separate bill. It's a separate bill. And it's been passed. It's now law? Do we know what the... 2 years ago. Do we know what the name of it is?
I don't remember, but I reported on it.
Oh, thank you. Will you send me the link?
Yeah.
Thank you. So what this means is, and I, you know, as a journalist to say these words, just, I can't tell you with what a heavy heart I say them, but we've entered an era in which it is not crazy to assess news events to see if they're real or not real. And in the United States as well as overseas. And in fact, it's kind of crazy not to.
Nearly 40 people are killed, scores of others wounded. An American inside the club says he played dead to survive as the gunman walked just inches from him.
I got shot in the leg, man. These crazy people came in shooting everything. I don't know. I saw one person. They're shooting and hiding.
Okay, this is a short little video compilation with the latest evidence which will prove, absolutely, completely and utterly prove that this was a hoax stage psyop, but it'll also identify who was behind it and why they're doing it. First of all, we've got this new footage. I'm going to show the Al Jazeera stuff because it's the longest, of inside the nightclub. Okay, so this is 3 days later inside the nightclub. I'm just going to point out a few little things in this video which completely and utterly confirm it's all rubbish and fake. And then I'll show you the compilation which I've made from two very important videos which have just been released that everyone must see. Okay, first of all, just have a listen to what he says here.
Here inside Reina, everybody is extremely sad. You look around and there are constant reminders of the kind of revelry, the kind of fun that was going on that night. Just look at this bar here behind us. There are still drinks on the bar. There are empty bottles. There are bits of food that are laying around as well. But also...
Okay, so the cleaners haven't been in yet. This is very important to note. The cleaners have not been in this nightclub yet, so he shouldn't be talking about bits of food and empty bottles, should he? Remember, about 100 people were shot. People bled to death in there. 39 people with dozens more wounded. There'd be pools of blood in there. Pools of blood. The cleaners have not been in yet. There'd be pools of blood. He'd be talking about that. Not an empty bottle and a bit of food. Okay, so this is ridiculous nonsense. Now, remember we saw the Turkish riot police sealing off the nightclub afterwards. There's a blackout in Turkey after these terrorist attacks. YouTube shut down. This is to stop conspiracy theories. Obviously, we know why, because we know what the Turkish state are up to, this sort of stuff. Now, just ask yourself, have a look at those images of them sealing off the nightclub with riot police. Who are they sealing them off? Who are they sealing the nightclub off from? From their fellow people, from fellow citizens who are so sceptical, in case anyone dare break in and see the evidence for themselves and see, as we can see here, that, there was no mass machine gun shooting and killing in this nightclub. All the bottles and everything intact over here. Obviously nothing's, no broken bullet holes in there. All the windows, massive, great big pane windows all the way down, not shattered. But we are going to see one or two alleged bullet holes, which I'll put to you are absolutely, definitely not bullet holes.
Oh, nobody can...
Although it wouldn't be hard for them to walk in afterwards and fire a few shots into the wall for the cameras, but I don't think they've even done that.
Escape.
Okay, now let's watch this from the start quickly.
Holes from bullets that shatter.
Okay, that's the first bit of evidence we see. Does that look like a bullet hole to you? Don't forget, high impact, high velocity creates the have a look what happens when something hits your windscreen at a high velocity and the pattern it makes on in the glass. These, I'll put it to you, these are low velocity, dents that have been done with maybe a sledgehammer or something like that.
So many lives next to holiday decorations that still hang. Imagery is frightening.
Okay, look at that. Does that look like a bullet hole to you? It's not, is it? It's definitely not a bullet hole, that.
As it is seemingly inexplicable.
You see what he says there? It's seemingly inexplicable. Okay, so the evidence in the nightclub that, this really happened, according to him, is inexplicable. Let's just have a quick look there. Unable to be explained or accounted for. Okay. I think that's about right.
Inexplicable. As Reina nightclub employees...
Okay, look at that. There's a bullet hole there coming out the chair. But look at this bit sticking up here. So it's been fired from underneath the chair.
Slowly shuffled in.
Now, we're led to believe here, this bloke over here in the far left-hand corner is laughing, but we're led to believe here, and the bloke in the middle's faking it, but that all the bar staff are coming back 3 days later, before the cleaners have been in, I don't think so. So what are all the bar staff doing? They're coming for a photo op. These are probably not even bar staff. They're just people they've got in for a camera shot photo op. I mean, why are the bar staff coming back after 3 days when the cleaners haven't been in yet?
Some sought consolation. Others simply tried to make sense of the senseless. It's the first time they've returned since...
Okay, now look at that bullet hole there. Again, I'm saying that's low impact, but that's double glazing, and the bullet has not gone through the second glazing. I'm saying that's been hit with a hammer and on a pointy metal thing or something. That's not an AK-47 bullet going into the glass there. It's going to go through that double glazing.
The night, dozens were killed. Club manager Mehmet Delibash said...
Okay, now listen to what he says.
He heard the gunfire and came face to face with the gunman before he entered the club.
Okay, so this joker here reckons that he met the gunman face to face outside the club. Now, if you haven't seen the CCTV footage of outside the club, we've got the footage of the gunman allegedly storming in. This guy did not come face to face with him outside the club, and everything, because he'd be dead, and everything else that that he says we know is a lie, because we've got the CCTV footage from him going into the club.
We started to run inside, and we tried to pull as many of the guests and employees inside as well.
Did you see that on CCTV? Did you see him run inside and pull in as many of the people outside inside? No, we didn't see any of that, did we?
Mehmet tells us that once the shooting began, he could only hear silence again when the gunman was reloading his ammunition. When you look at the damage inside, it's evident that he was aiming for the guests and employees, aiming for live targets.
As if we need evidence that he was actually trying to kill people with the death toll figures that have been released. None of these bullets. He riddled the place with bullets. Look at all these lights down here. They're all fine. None of them needed replacing. All these bullets went flying around in this place, but all these glasses here and everything, perfectly okay. We'll see huge, great big windows along the left-hand side here in some of these shots, which all look to be fine. This is why they sealed off the nightclub, because there would have been, if people had stormed it to see, for the evidence with their own eyes, there wouldn't have been any.
Here inside Reina, everybody is extremely sad. You look around and there are constant reminders of the kind of revelry, the kind of fun that was going on that night. Just look at this bar here behind us. There are still drinks on the bar. There are empty bottles. There are bits of food that are laying around as well. But also, nobody can escape the horror of what happened that night. with bloodstains on the wall.
That's it. That's all the blood the camera shows. You know, if they're going to show blood, if they're not scared about showing blood, they may as well show blood. You know, what it would be really like if 39 people had been shot and bled to death inside that club. And as we can hear, the cleaners have not come in yet. There's bits of food lying around and empty bottles. So, you know, there'd be pools of blood everywhere. I mean, it would be, you know, they wouldn't be filming a bit of raspberry juice on the wall here.
And tinsel on the ground.
That's the best they can come up with for a photo op in a club where there's been a mass shooting. You know, a bit of tinsel on the ground. Of course, tinsel is a big theme of this psyop. We've got the Joker coming out of the nightclub with a tinsel tourniquet, and just have a look at that tourniquet. Okay, that tinsel is not tight on his leg, and it's not done up at all tight. We see this again and again with these tourniquets they use in these psyops. They don't do them up tight, and you can see that, you know, they'd be totally ineffective.
An upscale club that used to cater in fun and frivolity is...
Okay, look at those windows there. Does that look like that nightclub's been riddled with machine gun fire? Huh? There's no bullet holes in them windows. They're not all smashed and shattered.
Now a sight of so much pain. To give you some idea of just how scared people were that night, several partygoers jumped off of this deck into the freezing water of the Bosphorus, which is about 4 to 5 meters below us. The shoes left behind only underscore the panic so many felt. On a night the new year was ushered in, when so many here no doubt looked...
That's the best they can do. They can do 2 shoes, which were probably the assistant camera crew lady or something who just quickly took a shoe off so they could film it, and a load of chairs turned upside down. You know.
All I can say is it's a massive tragedy. This is very unfortunate. I don't want to talk about what happened inside the club, but you know, I want to say, you know, this is a very good country, and it's so unfortunate that this is happening to you guys, and I really feel for everybody here. For me, I wake up in the United States, I eat breakfast. You guys wake up and have to think of this. It's so sad, and I really wish everybody here the best. I've only met very good people.
I got shot in the fucking leg, man. These crazy people came in shooting everything. I don't know. I saw one person. They're shooting and hiding, man, so... I will fuck that dude up if I see him.
Big gun? Oh, big gun or
fucking AK-47.
We wish you a Merry